Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Elise and today we are going to talk about setting goals and incorporating them into your weekly plans. I have my Clever Fox Weekly Planner Pro. This is an hourly planner and I'm going to share with you a couple of different tips and tricks about how I set goals based on what is happening that week and how I carve out time in an hourly planner to ensure that I'm reaching my goals. Make sure that you watch this whole video so you don't miss any of the info that we are sharing today. And also make sure that you are subscribed to our channel and you have that notification bell turned on so that you get notified each time we share a new video. Let's get started. Now, first up, as always, we want to make sure this is dated. So we are in May. I can't believe we're in May 2025. And we have a Sunday start here. So Sunday is the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Now, our primary focus is going to be our weekly goals. So where I actually want to start first is with work-life balance here. So we're going to let's use blue for health and fitness. And I'm going to write, maybe we'll go for the smaller side. This is a Tombow twin tone and I like it has like a marker tip and then a really fine tip. So exercise 3 times. Then we're going to take personal development and I'm going to do read 1 book. I've fallen a bit behind on my reading goal. I'm actually going to also cover up a category. I think that in different times in life, it's important to allow yourself to be flexible with your planners and know that there may be some categories that are more important to you than others, and you should give yourself the permission to change those. So before I get to it, I'm going to use a white pen here. This is a white Uniball Signo pen, and I really like it as opposed to correction tape sometimes because I feel like it just gives a cleaner cover up than like a whole strip of correction tape. So romance and relationships is going to be map out summer. And what I mean by that is that James and I have like thrown some things on the calendar. Like he has a trip in June and July with friends. I have a trip in August that he may be coming on. We've just kind of like tossed out, we have a concert this summer. We've tossed out a little bit of different things, but we haven't really sat down and been like, okay, this is what we want to do this summer. This is maybe what we want to do like just together, plan a trip together, or, you know, really focus on that. And I think that because we're finally past the like adjustment period of living together and we have passed our Disney trip, we're now ready to like really dive in and think about what the summer looks like. So family and friends is going to be, I'm going to write MDW, Memorial Day weekend plans. I could also put that under fun and recreation, but it's going to apply more to family and friends this week, and I'm actually going to cover up fun and recreation. We're gonna change up 2 categories this week. And while I've done several videos sharing with you these default categories, I think it's also important to show different things that you can do in your planner to make it a little bit more custom for you. So over here, I'm actually just gonna rewrite. I call this one, trying to write lightly, physical environment. And that means home, or whatever your physical environment looks like. We're gonna let that one dry for another second. So my physical environment is going to be trip reset. This color is a little bit light. And then this one we're going to, are we dry? We are dry. This one we're going to do finance. It's not fully dry, which is why it's not writing properly over it. This one wrote better. And for finance, I'm going to write 2 things, summer budget and track trip spending. Okay, perfect. Now that we have my work-life balance goals in here, the next thing that I'm going to want to include are plans. And the reason that I want to put the plans that I already have in here is because then I'll be able to see what available time I have to incorporate these goals into my schedule. So I need my ruler, which happens to be next to me. And first up, I'm going to block off some things. So we're gonna do a big block on Sunday because Sunday I am flying home from Indianapolis and I just kind of want that all blocked off so that I'm not like tempted to use it for anything productive. And we're going to write flight home from, let's do IND to LGA. Okay. Now, I'm also not writing my flight details in here because when I go away, I don't bring a planner. Sometimes I'll bring a journal and write things down, but I don't tend to bring a planner because I don't really open it. So I don't need that in there. Now, for Monday, we're going to block. I'm just gonna do it over here and then we'll go through all at once with the ruler, but I'm going to block off my work hours. So it's easier to just kind of do all at once like this. And then here. So the reason I'm doing multiple blocks within the day, I forgot this one, is because I take a 1 hour lunch break. And because I work from home, I tend to spend that lunch break doing productive things around. Fridays, I work 8 to 4. So my lunch is shifted a half hour, but the rest of my day is the same. Okay, so now we're going to get these kind of blocked as well, and I'll just continue going through. I don't know that I'm gonna do boxes all the way through, but at least I'll be able to visibly see. And the other benefit of not boxing it is that if I wanted to add more for each day, I can do that and not feel like the box is, limiting me. So again, the first tip here is really to put your plans in your planner. It may seem obvious, but not to everyone. Maybe we'll just do like a little end cap for each of these to get your plans in your planner, because if I just had this planner open and I was like, okay, let's get my weekly goals in here, I may not really be considering everything that I have coming up. And the workday especially, because it's like, oh, it looks like there's so much open space, but there's really not. So that's where time management is key, especially if I want to make sure that I am working towards my goals. And then as you're about to see, there's also other plans in here that are going to limit me. So another recommendation, if you want to do this a little bit differently, is to first put your plans in and then set your goals, because I set my goals knowing what my week looks like. However, it may be easy to forget that part. So putting your plans in before you set your goals may be helpful. Now, one of the reasons that I didn't do that is because I feel like it would be really easy for me to say, this is going to be such a busy week. I don't really have time to accomplish my goals or to work on my goals. And I wanted to set these ahead of time. I forgot about Friday here. I messed this up. Okay, we're going to fix it. I was thinking about this being a Monday start, but I messed it up. So we're gonna fix that. But first I'm gonna come in for Friday. So Friday we need to do just match this. And then we're going to fix Thursday. So I'm going to fix it by using correction tape. It's a little bit thick for this, but this kind of just shows like your planner doesn't always have to be picture perfect. It needs to work for you. It needs to be functional. If you hate how this looks and you make a mistake similar, you can flip to another page, because chances are with this being an undated planner, there may be some weeks that you're not using because you may be on vacation or something like that. So you could use another week. You could also use the white pen. That would have been a little bit cleaner, but I'm not really worried about this space in here because I don't write in it a ton during my workday. Sometimes I add little things, but it's not really an active section for me. This is just the only part that's my lunch break, but as you'll see, we'll be able to write over it without any issues. I also have to cover up here. Okay. So, and we have to do this. So again, being mindful of your plans and not distracting yourself and actually looking to see what days are what. You don't really need a ruler for this. I just find it easier to do with a ruler because I'm not great at drawing straight lines. So I just feel like it's a little bit cleaner as I make a mess. But messes happen. It's real life. I think we have fixed that. All right. Now that that is resolved, we are going to add in other plans because I'm not finished yet with my plans. So next up, we have a birthday party on Sunday. It's for a 1-year-old. It's one of James's friend's child. It's not likely that I'm going to go. I've kind of RSVP'd like possibly because I am flying home at I think 8 a.m., which means I probably need to leave at like 6 for the airport. I know that I'm gonna be up really late the night before. So I'd rather come home, take a nap, and like work on things to get my week set up after being gone for a few days. So I don't even know that I'm going to write it in here. I may write it in as a maybe. On Tuesday, this is gonna go, let's try this without a ruler. Okay, that's not horrible. But Tuesday night, we have a fundraiser. We need to leave at 5:30. It goes from, I think, 6 to 8. So we'll be home around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So that works there. Okay, so now over here, we're just gonna write W, and this will kind of be my indicator that this is for work. The benefit of writing this on the right side of the page, or right side of the column, is that if I wanna use any of these boxes for work things, I can, and I'm not impacting my ability to use it functionally. It helps when I can write it straight. Okay, now over here, we're going to write fundraiser for election. All right, finally, for plans, Thursday, probably, I would guess maybe around 8, we are going to drive down to the Jersey Shore for Memorial Day weekend. And I'm bumping it down to 8 because anyone who lives in New Jersey or near New Jersey knows that Memorial Day weekend is one of the busiest weekends. And I think that leaving at 5:30 or 5 would take us a very long time. So we probably are gonna leave a little bit later, leave for the Jersey Shore. And then I am gonna be working from there on Friday, but then Saturday will just be a short day and we'll see what the weather's like. Hopefully it's good enough to go to the beach, but we shall see. Okay, now I have my plans in. I'm sure that there will be other little things that pop up, but the plans are set. So now I'm able to really see how to take this work-life balance and move it over. So it would be great if I can jump right into the week with exercise because we're going away on Thursday. So what I'm going to do is that's 7 a.m. is a really good time for that for me. So I'm actually going to put it in Monday through Thursday at 7 a.m., even though that's 4 times. It's likely, or possible anyway, that one of these days it's not going to happen. And so by putting it down more times than my goal is, gives me a better chance. It's like throwing a few dartboards at the board and hope that one hits the bullseye. So that's what we're gonna do in there. Now, one of the things on Sunday is going to be, I'm gonna put this here at like 8 o'clock and write, choose a book. Because let's break this down. In order to read a new book, I need to have a book chosen. And one of my, I go back and forth with 2 different times of day to read. Sometimes I really love reading before my workday starts because I feel like it sort of exercises my brain a little bit. And then other times I really like reading after work. But because James and I tend to spend, James is my boyfriend, sorry if I didn't mention that. Because I try to spend a lot of time with him after work, I don't always know if reading is the right thing for later in the day. That said, Mondays he is out at night and Wednesdays he's out at night. So I think that we're going to put read here, read 1 hour. Tuesday, we're gonna do it over here, but read for 30 minutes. Because he's out Wednesday, I'm also going to write read 1 hour. And then Thursday, let's do that in the morning. And then I'm also going to write it as a priority for Saturday. I don't know exactly when Saturday it'll be able to happen. If I go to the beach, it'll be able to happen. But if I don't and we're out and about, it's probably not likely. Okay, map out summer. This is where, as I was writing down reading, I was like, oh, I'm gonna hit a roadblock. Because Monday, James is out. Tuesday, we have a fundraiser. Wednesday, he is out. Thursday, we are going to be driving. While we could talk about it while we're driving, he's going to want to look at a calendar. So I actually think that Sunday would be a good time to schedule this. So I'm going to write dinner and summer discussion. It may seem like silly or weird to put down having a discussion in the planner, but I feel like if I don't do that, it's not gonna happen. Now, Memorial Day weekend plans, that also has to happen this time. So I'm going to put both colors here because it pertains to 2 categories. Okay, summer budget and track trip spending. So over here, I'm gonna do this, track trip spending. I used the wrong color for the reading, I'm now seeing. So I'm gonna try to, because this is a thin marker pen, it's pretty easy to come back through. We should rename this video to Mistakes Happen. It's okay. You're allowed to make mistakes in your planner. And then we're going to add these in here. It's a good reason not to use similar colors for multiple goals. But I also want to show you that you don't have to just like toss the planner or toss the page. It's okay. One of the things that I like to think about is this. Is having a little bit of correction tape or having some dual colors here going to prevent me from using my planner? It may not look beautiful, it may not be ideal, but it's still my planner, it's still functional, and I'm not going to look at it and be like, there's correction tape in here, I can't use this. And that's just a really good question to ask yourself, just kind of like putting it into perspective, I think is really important. Okay, now we have green. I had mentioned that this felt a little bit light, so I'm actually going to swap it for red, but I'm going to use, let's use this tip. You shouldn't really be able to see any of the green. I'm gonna press a little bit harder and that'll make it a tiny bit of a bolder tip. All right, that's better. Now over here, we're going to do laundry and unpacking. And that'll probably take up like this amount of space. So we'll just kind of block this off here. Now, the goals that I set for this week are a little bit different than goals that I would have set for the following week, because when I look again at my plans, I'm going to be flying home this day. I'm going to be leaving Thursday. So I'm really only home for 3 days. So what I put in here was very much dependent. Oh, I need to do summer budget. It was very much dependent on what my week looked like. On another week where I may have like decluttering or, plan someone's birthday or just other things around the house or different fun and recreation type items, you'd see more of it throughout here, but I wanted to show you a different kind of week. We've done so many videos where I share my plans and what's going on and whether I have a doctor's appointment or this and that, but this is one of those weeks where it's proof that you can still set goals and add them in your planner without, even when your life looks a little bit different. So I never talked about summer budget. Budgeting is one of those things that I really like to do before work starts. I feel like it's a good, again, like brain exercise, but also my mind is fresh and energized because I haven't been drained from a work day. So I don't think it's something, actually it's something that would be perfect on Monday because Monday is payday. And every Monday morning I work on my budget anyway. So this would be perfect right over here to kind of spend that hour doing. Now, if I wanted to set a main goal for the week, the main goal is going to be my trip reset, because I feel like when I get home from a trip, just putting everything away and getting back to life is really healthy. Now, because this is also the physical environment, one of the things that I'm going to need to do over here is pack for the Jersey Shore. And it's not necessarily just about packing. It's going to be pack and choose, what do I want to call these? Shore only items. Last summer, James and I were down the shore almost every single weekend. Oops, I spelled shore wrong. And one of the challenges that I had was like packing and unpacking every single weekend. And so over the last year or so, a little bit less than a year, I have started to put aside things that I want to keep down the shore. For example, in December, I bought a new blow dryer. I upgraded my blow dryer. There was nothing wrong with my old one, except I didn't love it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep this old blow dryer, hair dryer, and bring it down the shore instead of having it here. Or like, a couple of bathing suits or cover-ups or some clothes, just so that every weekend I don't feel like I'm fully packing up and then I come home and I unpack, and then I do it again 4 days later because we tend to go down on Thursdays. So that is the video. Hopefully you found this helpful and a little bit of an understanding that you don't necessarily need every week to be fully open and available in order to set goals. My main tip here is just list out your plans, be mindful of what your life looks like before you're setting goals, because sometimes you may feel like if you don't achieve everything you set out to achieve, that you failed, and that's not the case. But the best way to set yourself up for success is to set goals based on what your week looks like. So hopefully that was helpful. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel with your notifications on if you are not yet subscribed or do not yet have your notifications turned on. You can pick up this planner over at cleverfoxplanner.com. Thanks again. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon.